Hey guys, how you doing? Morning Leo, evening Gracie. Ready to party? I see. G'day Cameron. Thank you for shouting Gracie out. So, I don't know how many of you guys watch the videos that I put up on YouTube, breaking down like tournament battles that I do. So, I figured I have a promised Twitch Sing session starting in about an hour and a half from now. I still wanted to start streaming at the normal time, so I figured that the best thing to do would be to do like a live recording of one of those videos. So in this stream, I'm gonna be breaking down a set of 3 battles that I have done in a practice Nightmare Cup tournament, and just kind of study it with you guys, kind of get your opinions on everything, share my opinions. Oh, thank you, Josh. Mr. Champagne says, "Hey man, looking sharp. Were you ready? Any Pokemon book stories today?" No. In fact, I'm gonna have to. I won't bother turning off the rewards. I will just refund them if anyone redeems any. So yeah, I won't be doing any of that today in this stream, because this stream's only gonna go for like 30 to 60 minutes, and then I'm going to be heading into a Twitch Sings session after that. So that's in an hour and a half from now, if anyone wants to stick around for that. So this is a battle that I... the last video I have recorded, it hasn't gone up yet, but the last video I recorded was a battle against this gentleman here. His name's Mr. Dr. Pants. At the time, he was not a challenger, but he did beat me. It was an extremely close finish. He beat me really comfortably in the first battle. I managed to just managed to win the arm wrestle in the second battle, and then he won the third battle by 1 fast move. It was like a Haunter versus a Frostlass. I was 1 Powder Snow away from fainting his Haunter, but then he got to a Shadow Punch, so that was pretty unlucky. And now in this second practice Nightfall Cup, the very first round, we were matched together, so I was like, yes, like, good chance for some payback. And so here's how the battle went. In that first battle, first tournament as well, one thing worth mentioning is that we had not... No one in the tournament had looked at the meta at all. It was what I've been calling the Slapdash Nightfall Cup, which was, we did the whole meta reveal on this channel a week ago now. And then we all just went straight to our Discord server and just put together a team. It didn't matter, whether the team was balanced or anything. Just put together anything that you feel might be good and see how you go. Now we've had a little bit more time to look at teams, and so the changes I made from that initial team was I had way too much fighting in that initial team. I had like Gallade, Medicham, and Blaziken, and nothing to cover Wigglytuff. So I've fixed that. I have added in the Galarian Stunfisk, and I changed one of my fighters to Toxicroak to be able to hit back against the Wigglytuff. Thanks for the follow, Matisse0807. Yeah, let's get into the battle, shall we? Oh, I need to... Oh, yep, that is showing up. Excellent. Okay, so Swampert versus Wigglytuff lead. Now, I always tend to pause at this moment, because the first thing that I want to know in these videos is who wins these lead scenarios with the 2-2 shield situation from a standing start. So let's take a look at that. Wiggly versus Swampert. Now, we're going to stick with Sludge Wave for now. I find so few people run Sludge Wave on their Swamperts, but in this cup, maybe that'll change because a lot of people are gonna wanna look for that extra damage against the fairies. Namely, I think are Wigglytuff and Ninetales the only two fairies in the competition? I'm gonna quickly look that up. Someone will probably say it in the chat before I can, but Channel Cup, Fairy. Oh, and there's Galarian Weezing. So, in the one shield, Swampert has that. Well, I was gonna say quite comfortably, but not really. It's only got 22 HP left. Each charm is taking out 13 damage, so the Wiggly's only 2 charms away from beating that Swampert with Sludge Wave. What if it's got Earthquake? Swampert is still winning that. Just for interest's sake, I'm gonna just tell it to straight charm, see if that makes a difference. It does not at all. So, normally, you know, if you throw a charge move, that's letting your opponent, a lot of the time, get in extra fast moves. So I figured if I went straight charm, maybe that would make a difference, but it seems not to have. So it looks like it's taking 2 Hydro Cannons to take out Wigglytuff. 44% damage. So 88% total. Those mud shots are... I'm always astounded by how much damage those fast moves add up to. Because, like, Mud Shot, we all know, is a very low damage move. And yet, Hydro Cannon taking out 88% of its HP. That other 12% is all being made up by Mud Shots, which is crazy. That Hydro Cannon's doing 99 damage. And even more than that, because that's a second Hydro Cannon. Only about 2/3 of that is actually registering. The rest is overkill. So the Mud Shots have already gotten it down so far that you only need 2/3 of a second Hydro Cannon to take it out. So you can win straight Hydro Cannon that way. That's if the Wigglytuff shields once. Oh yeah, we got to turn off sandbox mode. We want to go the 2/2 shield. Well, of course Wiggly's gonna win that one. That's where Wigglytuff shines, is when it's got shields. Also needs to shield once. It wins the 1/0 shield. That's interesting. So I guess it gets to that play rough before the Swampert can get to the second Hydro Cannon. Let's do a quick chat check. Josh says, I always run Sludge since whatever I need Earthquake for, I can normally just make do with Hydro Cannon. Yeah, that's fair. Earthquake has a lot of great closing potential though, which like, and it's heavy closing potential. Like if you land an Earthquake, that can flip a lot of matchups that you probably would have lost otherwise. Gracie says, I run Sludge Wave 2 when fairies are a big part of the meta. Yeah, that's fair. And Wigglytuff and Alolan Ninetales are both going to be quite big in this meta. Josh says, I see you're also a person of culture. Leo says, I don't have a Great League Swampy. Right, because you were fairly late to the game, weren't you, Leo? Hey, Rocket, how you doing? 12:31 AM, so it's early for you. Matisse says, what is that 3 Pokemon? So in this battle, I'm using Wigglytuff, Gallade, and Frostlass. Did I see your evolution creations? I think I saw the Jolteon. I haven't seen any others. Where did you put him again? Was it on the GoCast server? Yeah, exactly, Leo. So hopefully you'll get your opportunity in December. Hopefully they give that to us. And then you'll be able to get all the Community Day moves. Basically, any starter is... I was going to say any starter is only viable with the Comday move, but I'm going to say the one exception to that is Sceptile. Although Sceptile probably is not entirely viable even with the Comday move, but it just does about as well with the Comday move as it does without it. Oh, your PGR creations. Yeah, cool. I'll check them out afterwards. You swept the local Marsh tournament 4-0. Excellent. Playing Johnny, and for either a 6-0 sweep or a 5-1 joint tie for the All Island tomorrow. That is so good. Well done, man. You are just kicking goals. That's so good. Yeah, you're right. I'll take that one, Josh. Blaziken does have play with that. I mean, but it's got a lot. It's got a lot better performance with the Blast Burn than without. So you just did the original 3, Gracie? Hey, Rattles. We're analyzing a set of Nightfall Cup battles at the moment against Mr. Dr. Pants. That and number 13 on GBI leaderboard last week. Very nice, Rocket. You can actually I think you can quite easily run Blaze Kick Brave Bird on a Blaziken, like if the meta warrants it. 3 that don't exist yet. Oh, right. Huh. I would definitely have to check that out. Fire Chicken with Brave Birds, but yeah, because it's got such a high attack already. And then just hitting people with that absolute nuke is... it's fun. It's, I mean, almost as fun as hitting a... like an Altaria with a Stone Edge. Hey, Stumpy. Can we have a shout out for Stumpy? Excellent Australian content creator. He is he's just as passionate as myself and Trotter and Steve on kind of building the PvP scene in Australia. We are taking a look at, thank you, Cameron. We are taking a look at a set of Nightfall Cup battles that we did. This was a practice tournament that I did on JigglyDad's stream. If you want to check him out, he's awesome as well. So anyway, let's get back to it. We've established that Wigglytuff needs to shield once. And so if you only want to spend 1 shield on your Wiggly, then you have to throw the charge move and they have to let it through. So like so you can win the 1-0 that way. Otherwise, you're going to have to shield twice to win this battle. So this is not a good lead for me. Interestingly, though, he switches out and brings in the Frostlass. Now, I've got the Gallade and the Frostlass, which I believe are both better matchups against the Swampert, so I think it's best for me that I stay in here. I can tank 1 Avalanche. I should be able to get to a charge move before the Frostlass gets to another Avalanche, which means that either I can let this go. It essentially means that I can force an even shield situation on this. If it does get to a second charge, I don't think I'm going to be able to just charm down alone. So I'm going to be hit by an Avalanche. Whether I have to spend 1 shield or not is probably dependent on whether they shield the charge move that I'm going to get to. Is what I was trying to get at. Then again, it's in the yellow now, so I actually might be able to do this. Oh, but no, he had the energy lead there. So I'll let that first one go. Oh, well, that's just bullshit. CMP tie. That was absolutely a CMP tie. So we got to that charge move at the same time. Frostlass obviously has the higher attack. So what do I do here? I'm going to open this up to the floor. What should I do here? I mean, what we're trying to, like, the only reason to shield here is to get switch advantage. How badly do we want switch advantage here? If we let that avalanche go through, I have to obviously send out either the Gallade or the Frostlass. Gallade's going to be pretty dope with energy. It's only 3 confusions to a Leaf Blade, so if I've already got 1 confusion up my sleeve, then that's great. The Frostlass also good with energy though, and I think having the extra energy on Frostlass might help me with that matchup with the matchup against Swampert as well. So let's see what chat's saying. Now, you guys talking about the level 50 grind? Yeah, Stumpy was one of those lucky selected Australian trainers that got the level cap increase early. Thank you for the follow, Sniper Mike. That name makes me a little nervous. Yeah, Braddles says, wonder who hits level 50 first. That'll be a big deal. Like, that'll be, like, I think a lot of people will be talking about that when someone finally hits level 50. Leo, are you waiting to hit level 40? Like you're level 39 or something? So Bradle says, let it go and farm. Lurgan says, did they take your first charm's damage on Frostlass or Swampert? The first charm. He didn't swap out the Swampert straight away. Let's go back and double check that. But I think I got in a couple of charms before he swapped out. So I got 2 charms in. Except that second charm, the damage landed on the Frostlass by the look of it. That's 1. Yeah, and 2. So we landed 1 charm on the Swampert, then he switched out. I'm interested to see how that affects things. So far, I see this cup as a shield-dependent cup. Yeah, I think there's been a few of that. I think because... I think a lot of cups now are going to be shield-dependent. Because Niantic have created an environment where more and more... and I'm going to clarify that I'm not negatively criticizing this. Whenever we start a sentence with Niantic have... we usually end it with something negative. This is just an observation. I'm not saying whether it's good or bad. But Niantic have created an environment where more and more Pokemon, in the Great League at least, have very quick-firing and damaging moves. Your Abomasnow, your Galvantula, the buff to Powder Snow and Hex and whatnot. They all kind of lend... They all kind of create this environment of quick battles where shield advantage plays a huge part, I think. So Josh says, yeah, so far you see this cup as a shield-dependent cup, so make sure you save the shields. Stumpy says, I'd take the shield advantage here. Well, it wouldn't be an advantage, it would be parity still. Leo says, you had to let it go. Gallade can't win Swampert with shield disadvantage. Right, good call. I'm going to double check that to make sure. Gallade and Wiggly. Not Wiggly. Gallade and Wiggly absolutely kicks the crap out of Gallade. We want Swampert. And pretty sure this this one was running Earthquake. So let's go battle, and so we win the 0-0. Obviously, because we'd be surviving a Hydro Cannon. But yeah, it can't win the disadvantage situations. You're right. Even with 1 confusion worth of lead. It is flipping the 1-1 shield, but it's still losing the disadvantage scenarios. YouTube vid and watch it. This will actually be going up on YouTube in probably a couple of weeks. Stumpy says every cup with Frostlass feels like you need more energy than anything. Right, that's fair. Someone thought that against me, and my Pidgeot gusted them down with 2 shields left. Nice. Hey, Braddles Gaming, how are you? I would love to give him a shout out, but he does all his work on YouTube rather than Twitch. So, you know what? I want to give Brad the shout out he deserves, so I'm gonna actually physically go to YouTube right now and grab the link to his channel. Brad is a general gaming streamer. So a lot of the time it's Pogo, but yeah, he definitely does a wide variety of games. Brad, you've got almost 2,000 subs, and it doesn't look like you've created your custom URL. I think it's time, buddy. Peng's here as well. Hey, Peng, how are you? Hey, Negley's here. What's up? This may owe to my own poker background, but I find these types of reviews way more beneficial than the typical live play video. Thank you, Negley. I totally agree. I think, like, stopping and analyzing all the different bits and pieces of, like, what has happened up to this point and what could happen up until now, and kind of all the decisions that go into the moment. I think that is super beneficial. I originally, like a year ago now, I think it's a bit over a year ago, I got the idea to do videos like this based on the way poker videos would analyze hands, because I'd seen way too many tournament recap videos where people were just commenting on, and unfortunately we couldn't get the farm down, and we don't. I don't know how much we learned from that. So yeah, I appreciate that you feel that way about this kind of analysis, because I totally think that way as well. Rocket says it means it's not IV dependent for Frostlass making a second Avalanche versus Wiggly, provided it doesn't agent a charm through on the first Avalanche. Okay, let me try and decode that. So it means it's not. So the fact that we got 1 charm through on the Swampert and then he switched out into Frostlass, it means it's not IV dependent for Frostlass, making a second Avalanche versus the Wigglytuff. Right. Okay. I think that would have been the case, like, no matter when he switches out. No matter when he switches out, it's not gonna affect whether or not he gets to the second charge move. Like, it is, isn't it still IV dependent then? Negley says, seems few coaches do this type of review from my quick overview. Yeah, that's been a thing that's been raised by other people. The idea that what a lot of people call coaching, others might just call piloting, where they're just making the decisions for the student, and they're definitely not learning as much that way. In that case, I'd let the second avalanche go and get a confusion on Gallade. Cool, cool. Josh says, I saw a lot of Medi hype, but I'm seeing Gallade as one of the biggest threats. Yeah, I'm going to take credit for that because I brought that up on the the meta reveal back when it was first revealed a week ago now. I was saying that I like Gallade because it does all the same Medicham type things, but also beats Medicham. Sim 1 confusion to 2 Mudshots energy. Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. Because that thing did get 2 Mudshots in, didn't it? This is going to take a lot longer than I thought it would. Looks like that's all the same shield situations. So the 2 Mudshots of energy on the Swampert isn't doing any different. Just got a snow run. Someone dropped on an ice module. Very nice. Good IVs or not? HP disadvantage due to 1 charm shouldn't matter. Yeah, because the Leaf Blade's doing all the work here. Cameron says I can look it up. Thank you. I took care of that for you. Oh, you do have the custom. Well, so why doesn't that show up? Because okay, so Bradle says he does have the custom link. Which is funny, because yeah, obviously you can see in the link I posted there that it didn't show up, and I created a custom URL for my channel too, and I can't find where that is. Like, it's in my settings. I can go into the settings and it says, yeah, you've got this URL, but it doesn't show up anywhere. It's weird. I really need to get a better Frostlass since the one I've used for the last 2 years is a 15, 15, 14. I'd be interested to see how that affects things. Can't look into it now though because we've got time constraints. We've got to start Twitch things in an hour, an hour 10 anyway. Oh, you've never had a Snow Run before? So you're gonna evolve it into Frostlass or Glalie? At least you have one. I've never built a Frost. Buck never had a Frostlass either. Hey Buck, by the way. Beats your rank 1 probably. Don't think I even have it in the decks. There's a lot of things that I have the candy to evolve, but I haven't done so. So, like, my Pokedex completion is a lot lower than it could be. Than it could be. And Peng says I love Frostlass, absolutely. I hadn't started playing last winter. This is my first winter playing, so looking forward to getting that the Glalie and the Frostlass. I've definitely used Glalie in some tournaments as well. When I say some tournaments, I think it was Timeless. Timeless was the only one I think that I used Glalie, but it was good in Timeless. Rocket says, what I meant by the Frostlass switch into Wiggly is that regardless of what turn the Frostlass switches into Wiggly, even if that means Frostlass switches into Charms damage turn, that Frostlass will still reach 2 avalanches, although yes, it looked IV dependent with how close it was there. If the Wiggly with the Frostlass switching on that turn gets a Charm through on the first avalanche, then Frostlass shouldn't make the second avalanche. Okay, so Rocket, do you know how, like, I've brought this up on a video before, how with getting through charge moves and with denying my opponent fast moves, like maybe in between back-to-back charge moves, I don't yet know how to do it consistently and kind of regularly at will. It's not a strategy I can actually employ. It's just if I manage to get that, then woo, good for me. Do you know how to consciously affect that? Keeping in mind that it would probably be way too long to explain in chat here, so you might have to just explain it on like our Discord or something. It's a safe enough switch for Frostlass to try and recover a bad lead. Yeah, that's totally fair. Yeah, Peng, we're doing Twitch Sings today. Today is the day. Finally happening. For those who don't know, I agreed to do a Twitch Sings session to kind of celebrate getting to 1,000 followers on the channel. Brad says you can use it to get to your channel, but it doesn't show up automatically when you go there by YouTube searching. It's weird. It is weird. Yeah, I would like to look up in the URL box and just see, you know, YouTube/fish on heater. Just for peace of mind, I guess. Like, I trust that it works, but... What do you think about Glalie for this cup? Even I have not looked into Glalie at all. At all. Obviously, that Shadow Ball is going to be a killer for Frostlass. I believe I remember from... Might have been Timeless Cup. That Glalie does beat Frostlass. It's got that... It's just a tanky Frostlass, I guess. Less damage, more defense. But yeah, I have not looked into it at all, so I wouldn't know what it beats and doesn't beat. Rocket's got an answer, though. Of course he does. It's inconsistent, but there are methods to make it more frequent. Josh says exactly what I just said. It's bulkier. Well, I said exactly what he just said. Bulkier Frostlass, but lacks typing to counter fighters. Rocket says, I prefer timing charge moves with fast move turns that prevent... Yeah, that's what I try and do at the moment. Sometimes, of course, that makes things a little more difficult if the opposing Pokemon has a higher attack stat, though. Hey, Hawkozzy, how are you? For example, when possible, if using a 2-turn fast move, throw out 8 turns, or 4 moves, to an opposing mon's 9 turns, 3 moves, so that the move doesn't aperture. Yeah. That's the best thing I can do at the moment, because I can't do the exploit kind of denying fast moves. But I have been consciously practicing fast move denial and charge move timing in GBL the last 2 seasons. I mean, yeah, if you're happy to, you know, break it down in the kind of the general channel of Discord or something, that would be awesome. Let's get back to the video. So when we last left our heroes, the Frostlass had just managed to get to a second Avalanche, and I had to make the decision on whether to shield it or not. And the general consensus is that, unlike in GBL, where I think Switch Advantage is like primo, in this particular meta, keeping the shield parity is more important than the Switch Advantage. Let's see if I genuinely don't remember if I shielded here or not, so let's find out. I'm glad. I'm glad that I didn't do it. I have been liable to default to shielding in the past. So I chose the Gallade for that confusion damage, and out comes the Swampert. That's real interesting. I'd be interested to hear why you guys think he brought out the Swampert there. I think that was an unnecessary switch. Like, that's almost like me showing off, like, hey, look at me, I know when your charge moves are coming. I don't know what I was gaining out of that. Like, I can definitely tank a Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon's doing, I mean, 61% damage there. That is a fair bit. But, so just, let's say I don't shield. Let's give Swampert 1 shield. Whoops, I go... Oh, yeah, no, that's too much worth of energy. No, I want to go back-to-back Hydro Cannons. Yeah, so it's taken... I mean, yeah, I've got... so the Mudshots aren't enough to farm that one down, so you do need the second Hydro Cannon to take out the Gallade. So yeah, that's interesting that he brought in the... Okay, so the fact that he brought in Swampert, does that say anything about what he might have in the back? Medicham seems the most likely. I think the Gallade can beat the Haunter, even though the Shadow Claw from Haunter is going to just tear through a Gallade. I think the Confusion blows the Haunter away a little bit faster. The Gallade, I'm pretty sure, can beat the Golbat with the 2 shields. Because that Confusion does damage faster than that Wing Attack does. So, probably saying that that he's got a Medicham in the back. Oh yeah, but the whole reason we stopped here was because like, what are we gaining out of switching here? Because I guess what's Frostlass doing for us here? Frostlass is going to be good against Medicham and Golbat. It won't be good against Haunter. And we haven't even considered his own Wigglytuff yet. So, the only thing that switching really accomplished there was to maintain both of my shields intact, but even then, what's the point of keeping both of my shields at this point? Like, I've now lost half of my Frostlass. If he has got Haunter in the back, that thing can probably farm the Frostlass down. If even if it maybe has to spend its second shield. Yeah, not much reason for that. Especially since it gets to the next Hydro Cannon and I have to shield it anyway. It's ridiculous. Okay, so we've got Golbat. And we are 1 shield apiece. Now we are 1-0, but I have to stay in this matchup because that switch clock is not up. I wisely do not shield that one, and now it is up to Gallade, and it is a race. It is just a good old-fashioned race. I use that shield to shield the Poison Fang, and now I have to hope that I can get to the... Oh, my goodness, just throw the energy. Oh, I had the energy there, and I tried to Confusion it down. I threw that. Oh, my goodness. After all that, I could have won if I'd just thrown the energy when I had it. Oh, that's so embarrassing. And you guys got to see that live. Oh, let's check out the chat. Hawkins, he sent me a DM. Excellent. Is that for the ring? I haven't seen Wallowa's 2 videos, Rocket. You might have to link us those. Leo says, because as we just saw, Swampert beats Gallade in the 1 and 2 shields, and he didn't have to show his 3rd Pokemon. Left J's here. Hey, Left J. If he had a Frostlass at the back, he can just draw some shield. We just beat his Frostlass, though, so he definitely didn't have Frostlass at the back. Rocket's talking about CMP with Josh. Gallade beats Golbat in the 1 shield as well. Most people won't think that they need extra because they lose CMP, so that's just continuing another conversation. Underestimating someone can feel like an embarrassing way to lose. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Rocket. Josh says, I always try to plan for the next move, also trying to predict the back line. And that's a good point, Josh. That's something that I, at the moment, don't think I'm very good at, is predicting the back line. I think I did get a bit better at it during Marsh Cup, because a lot of the teams ended up being AWAC Grass Mudboy. So if I saw like 2 of those, then I was pretty comfortable assuming the third of those was in the back. Camera says, BRB, gonna get some dinner. Chat, be nice. We do have mods here. Lost a few games early on by underestimating opponents, so I never do that anymore. I remember you telling me about that, Josh. It is for the ring, excellent. Lily Bear says, I can almost hear you taking ridiculous from Grand Junction Road right now. Wallower's videos on fast move denial and charge move timing with different fast moves are very much worth watching. Yelling is what you're meant to say. Right. Alright, see you, Brattles. Thanks for stopping in, man. Was I that loud? You're late for the baby shower. Are you on your way now? Alright, so that was battle number 1, which we threw. It was terrible. We had the energy, and we did not throw it because we just thought one more confusion would do it. Like an idiot. Here's battle number 2. Alright, not good. There's no reason not to just switch straight out, isn't there? What did I have again? The Wigglytuff and the Venusaur. So, Wigglytuff would be an okay safe switch if it weren't for Golbat. I think Golbat beats Wigglytuff quite comfortably. Venusaur's even worse though. So we've brought 2 Pokemon that are weak to Golbat. Maybe... probably, thinking back, my plan must have been to switch into Wiggly and try and draw out the Golbat. So that I could then take it out with the Stunfisk. And then Venusaur would have like a relatively clear ride in the back. I think that would have been the plan. And I think bringing in Wiggly to be the kind of sacrifice against Golbat is better than bringing in Venusaur to do that, because Venusaur being weak to those wing attacks makes it a lot more farmable. And also, if the Golbat doesn't take the Wiggly out soon enough, then it can get to an Ice Beam, which will force a shield as well. So I do switch out into the Wigglytuff, and he brings out the Frostlass instead. So, we have been in this situation before, and we believe that they will get to that second move. But because they waited longer this time to switch, we get to our charge move in time, and he doesn't bother shielding. He does have the shield advantage though, which is a pretty big deal. However, either Mr. Dr. Pants does not have Golbat in the back here, or he predicted that he'd need the Golbat for something else. Maybe the Glade. I don't know about that. Unless he just absolutely soul-read me and knew I had the Venusaur in the back. But I think the most likely scenario is that he doesn't have the Golbat. We know one of these 2 remaining Pokemon is Swampert. But we're in a fantastic position here, because we can not shield this. Like, we can feint, and we've got the Venusaur here for the Swampert. That's fine. Except, unless he does have the fighter in the back, the Medicham. If he does have Medicham in the back, then we are in trouble. Because the Medicham is going to be pretty comfortable against the Stunfisk. And if it's running Ice Punch, then it can hit Venusaur pretty heavily, and we've only got 1 shield. Alright, so let's see what happens. He brings out the Haunter. Alright, now, let's see how this one goes. Let's see exactly how much energy it had. I'm gonna slow that down. I've got 1 Vine Whip, 2 Vine Whips. It's got 1, 2, 3 Shadow Claws. Let's go to the Sims here. So we've got Stunfisk versus Haunter. It's got 3 Shadow Claws worth of energy. I'm not going to bother with the HP just yet and see if that makes some kind of difference. It's the 2-1 shield. So the Stunfisk has 1, the Haunter has 2, and of course, Haunter's good. Except, I was pretty confident that this Haunter had Sludge Bomb. Which, that makes a huge difference. Let's just check out, I haven't clicked Battle yet. With Shadow Ball, the Haunter does win that. That Shadow Ball unshielded is doing 99 damage. My goodness. That is, as a percentage, we are looking at 56% HP. Which is a lot. And each Shadow Claw doing 6 damage. So, I could... So that would probably be fine for me if the Haunter did want to spend its 2 shields and then take me out. I think I'd be able to get to a Frenzy Plant and take it out before it could take me out. So let's continue battling with Venusaur. I think I had 2 Vine Whips. And how much HP did I have left? One, 2, 3. Alright, so I had 3 Vine Whips. Oh, this is... Oh, we got 0 shields of this. Whoa! Wow! Oh, that's so close. Entirely IV dependent. This Venusaur was not a rank 1. Which is what I've got my my Sims defaulted to. So I would have lost that probably by 1 Vine Whip. Not by Vine Whip, sorry. Oh yeah, by Vine Whip. Sorry, I would have lost that to CMP, I guess, is what I'm saying there. I would have lost that to CMP. I would not have been able to survive the Shadow Punch. Oh, it's Shadow Ball. That's what's happening there. Wow, is it getting to a Shadow Ball? That's crazy. Yeah, okay. Obviously, Shadow Ball is going to KO me. Shadow Ball is doing 82% damage there. Shadow Punch is only doing 33% damage. Interesting. And so that's if we'd gone to this situation where we are burning both shields here. So is that what we do? Oh, sorry. That's if the Haunter has Shadow Ball. This thing doesn't have Shadow Ball. It's got Sludge Bomb. So it has to throw Shadow Punches. That makes the whole thing a very, very different situation. So I can throw this second third rock slide, however many rock slides I'm up to. And he decides to throw his energy because he's worried that I'll get to another rock slide. But at that point, I've got a shield left, most of my health. It throws... he brings in the Swampert and it throws. At this point, got a shield. I don't remember how much energy that Swampert had. I don't know if any of you guys know how much energy it had. But the consequence of that Swampert having an Earthquake ready, firing it, and it landing is so much greater than the consequence of, say, it just being a Hydro Cannon and I do shield. If it's an Earthquake, we lose. Like, an Earthquake is enough to KO a Venusaur from there. And that we were talking before, you know, feels like years ago now. We were talking before, it was earlier this stream, about the closing potential of Earthquake. So an Earthquake will KO from there. I have to shield this and hope that the Haunter didn't have enough energy to fire and win the CMP against the Venusaur. Then again, even if it just has a Shadow Punch, we should be able to survive a Shadow Punch. Sludge Bomb, probably a different story. So we shield, and it is an Earthquake, so excellent decision. We get the farm down, and then fire the Frenzy Plant, and we get it through first, which is huge. And we take out battle number 2. Let's catch up on chat. I just drove past mine, nice. So if you're desperate, assuming Swampert doesn't have Earthquake, the 0/0 and 1/1 shield with a Rock Slide bait loses with G-Fisk, or losses with G-Fisk aren't that bad. Okay. The 0/0 and 1/1 shield losses aren't that bad. So the Stunfisk is still losing, but it's just not a heavy loss, is that what you're saying? Josh says, I'm not sure about Wiggles for this card. What reasons do you need it? I mean, it literally beats every fighter in the cup. Every single fighter might need to shield once, but it will beat every fighter, which is not something Frostlass can really say. Like, it does a better job against those fighters than Frostlass does. It's a great lead for that reason. Like, the power of Charm, just like a Razor Leafer, the power of Charm is going to hit a lot of things. Like, anything that doesn't resist it is going to get hurt by it in the lead situation. I am a fan of Wiggly. And in this meta, there aren't that many prominent things that can counter it. Golbat can. Any of your Razor Leafers can. I'm a fan of Venusaur, but I don't think that's going to be too popular. And of course, your G-Fisk can. But G-Fisk is a really interesting Pokemon in this meta because it's... I think out of all the Pokemon, it's got the most specific counters, if that makes any sense. So, like, G-Fisk being in the meta does more to shape the meta than maybe any other Pokemon. Wigglytuff being in there, okay, you probably need something with some poison damage or something like that. Like, I'm bringing Toxicroak instead of Medicham for that reason. But G-Fisk, like, you're gonna need to bring... Like, Swampert's relevance goes through the roof just because G-Fisk is there. Leo says, kind of like a flyer in that purpose, but does not take super effective from ice. Yeah, that's a good point. Has a Gallade and Frostlass already. Gallade is just... I'm trying to make that work, but it's too. It's really shield dependent. It's shield. Such a shield hog. What I was meant to say. You might be right, Josh. 4 SCs when you pause there. Oh, 4 Shadow Claws. Okay, cool. I counted that wrong. I'm really bad at counting the Shadow Claws in particular, I feel. I find its bulk is quite helpful versus Glade. That takes shields as well. I'm struggling between Wiggly and Glade. Also, you can't have both because they do very different things. I think Amok is worth a consideration. Yeah, I'm surprised that Amok hasn't gotten more of a consideration until now. Because yeah, you're right. That's like most other things, like Wiggly will still beat Amok if it shields once. And if it calls a bait, I don't think it has to shield. The Haunter had 47 energy switching out. Josh says, I made the right call. Rocket says, if you had the Haunter energy count when they switched to Swampert, their shielding was the guaranteed win. As the Swampert can't put you in Shadow Punch range. Right, yeah, that's a much more eloquent way of saying it. Good call, Rocket. Josh is not a big Charmer fan, so a bit biased. That's fair. If you can live your life without Charmers in your life, then all power to you. Enna's here. Hey, how you doing? Rocket says Frostlass beats Amok in the one shield. Doesn't it need an energy lead? Or let me just check that. This is the no shield, where Muck has it easily. In the one shield, nah, Muck still does have it, so it does need an energy lead there. Is 1 enough? No. What about 2? No. I think it's going to need a lot, actually. Yeah, no, it's Muck's definitely winning the one shield there. Peng says, I'm trying to make A-Slash work. Yeah, A-Slash would be very, very top meta if it weren't for all the fighters running around. Thanks for the follow, the Dragon Ball, or the Dragon 8 Ball. Excellent combination of Pool and Dragon Ball Z. And it says, believe it or not, I haven't done my Marsh Cup this month, but why does the meta seem similar to Nightfall? That's interesting. I haven't noticed that. I don't think it is. I think we've got no AWAC in Nightfall Cup. Ferrothorn was super prominent in Marsh Cup, and I don't think it is here. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's even eligible here. Oh, IV dependent? Provided Amok doesn't get a snarl through on the first avalanche. So let's test that out. Let's delete the energy advantage. Sandbox mode. According to this, it's not getting a snarl through on the first avalanche. There's the tap and there's the damage. Then Frostlass fires the avalanche and then Muck does it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so it's throwing enough for an avalanche. It doesn't have enough for a shadow ball. So you can't put it down to timing. It was winning the one shield back in Sorceress. Interesting. I wonder why that would have been. I wonder why we're getting that. Got a higher PvP IV Muck. It beats Frostlass. Most A-Muck now will be high IV due to its availability since GoFest. Yes, totally agree. A-Muck Swampert Venusaur? Yeah, right. That's fair. Rocket says, I need to give that matchup a look over again. Yeah, absolutely. Let us know what you find out. Yeah, I got what you meant, Ping. My phone overheated just as I needed to check directions. I hate it. Wow. That sucks. The Dragon 8-Ball says, do you think the double fighting strat is the way for the team of 6? I don't know about the way, but I think it's very hard to avoid having multiple fighters. I think there's so many different fighters that are relevant in the Cup, and they've all got all these different roles. Primeape and Sirfetch'd are doing very, very similar things because they're very high attack counter users with Night Slash. So they do the same thing, but then they have a different role to Gallade, which is a confusioner with close combat, and you know that can absolutely punish in the zero shields. You've got Medicham, which does more typical fightery things, while also still resisting fighter. You've got Machamp, which is just, you know, standard fighter, but with the Rock Slide to take on Frostlass. If you can get that through, Toxicroak is a fighter that can hit back at fairies. The only one that can hit back at fairies, unless you count Vigoroth as one of the fighters. So yeah, I think it's very hard to avoid having multiple fighters in your team. I've got 2 in mine, for this video anyway, Toxicroak and Gallade. Unless the strat is to give a free win. -3 degrees Celsius, Gracie. What even? How do you live? Back in Sorceress, there was a bug exploit with throwing a charge move first in CMP, where you would get a free fast move in half the turns if it would normally take... free fast move in half the turns it would normally take following the charge. Okay, I don't remember that. And I assume that affected the Frostlass matchup. Hey, Gracie, we like summer here. Was it 41 degrees yesterday? Far out. Does Night Slash Sirfetch'd beat Frostlass? I mean, I know it does in some situations. Let's see what situations they are. Frostlass is winning the one shield, and Avalanche is doing 78% damage. So if you hit an Avalanche onto a Sirfetch'd, that's doing 78% damage. Shadow Ball, 86%. So you are better off going the Avalanches most of the time. The very, very select situations where you'd want to go for the Shadow Ball. Oh, sorry, this is Leaf Blade Close Combat. We want Leaf Blade Night Slash. Frostlass still winning. It can take a Night Slash to the face. Night Slash is going to do 50% HP. You probably couldn't see that because the teams are in the way. 50% HP from a Night Slash to a Frostlass. And the counters are doing 5 damage apiece. So Frostlass is winning all the zero shield situations, the 1-1 and the 2-1. Sirfetch'd is winning all the two shield situations if you want to double shield any Pokemon in this cup. Alright, so let's get back to the videos. We are 1-1. We threw the first one, managed to win the second one fairly comfortably, I feel. Let's check out battle number 3. Alright, so, pretty good lead for us. It's not the best in the world, but we do win. Let's check that out. Stunfisk versus Frost. We are winning in any situation where we don't have a shield disadvantage. So if we have a shield disadvantage, then the Frostlass is actually going to win that. Because that Avalanche is doing 37. I thought it did a little more than 37%. That's fine. Shadow Ball doing 42%. With the Powder Snows, I think with the damage of Powder Snow added to that, I'm pretty sure an Avalanche is enough to take it down to about the halfway mark. Or almost the halfway mark. Rock Slide, on the other hand, doing 54% damage, so there's no question about it. Like, two Rock Slides will be absolutely sufficient. But yeah, if Stunfisk doesn't shield, 2 Avalanches will be enough. Basically, the Frostlass has to be able to land 2 Avalanches before the Stunfisk can land 2 Rock Slides. Is probably the simplest way of putting that. So we do have the win on this lead, and we've got Gallade and Wiggly at the back. What was my plan here? Why did I go with those two? Looking at his team. Did I expect him to bring Medicham this time? I think I must have been a bit chickened out by like bringing 2 Pokemon that were hard countered by Golbat before. So maybe I expected him to bring the Golbat back in this time, and I wanted a little more firepower against the Golbat. Like the Stunfisk obviously is fine against the Golbat, but if for some reason I couldn't match the Stunfisk back up against the Golbat, at least the Gallade can fight against it. Thank you for following Caliqueen. Welcome to the stream. We are analysing a set of Nightfall Cup battles, and we are down to battle 3. It's 1-1 for the set. So you joined us at a good time. So I held off just in case he tried to switch out to catch the charge move. But yeah, look at that. It does take us into the yellow. That's 1 Avalanche. And he lets that through as well. So I guess I've opted to shield this. I don't try and farm down from here, do I? That would be crazy. Okay. I think I must have originally wanted to go for the Mudshot farm down, and then decided, you know what, I'm not going to get there. So I switched out into the Wigglytuff, knowing that 1 Charm would be enough to take out the Frostlass. Problem though is, of course, I'm now switch locked, so I'm at his mercy. Let's just see if we can work out how much those Mudshots would have done. So each Mudshot's doing 3 damage. I wish I could visualize how much 3 damage is to this bar. So I might have been able to get it, but it was a risk. And now out comes that Golbat. So, okay, so I've got 2 Pokemon that can fight back against it, which is good. He is going to... I mentioned this in the last video that I recorded with Mr. Dr. Pants here, which hasn't gone live yet, so you get a little preview of what I say there, which is that Mr. Dr. Pants has managed to master the art of denying fast moves between back-to-back charge moves. So I fully know that's what he's going to do here. Don't shield it, don't shield it, don't shield it, don't shield it. I'm already 1 shield down. I cannot afford to be 2-0 down. So now, what am I going to do here? So, interestingly, I could bring out the Stunfisk, and that would be, fine. But I'm actually not going to beat the Golbat if it wants to use the 2 shields. I don't think. I'm going to check that in a second. So, what do I want to do? Do I want to be able to Confusion down the Golbat? I'll quite likely have to spend a shield. But if I want to Confusion down that Golbat, then I'll have energy, but he'll have both of his shields. Or I can throw in the Stunfisk, probably burn both of his shields, but then it's all up to Gallade to save the day, and that Golbat probably won't still be faint. Would probably still not have fainted. Let's see if we can kind of figure out if we could have burned both of its shields with the Stunfisk. So I'm going to say that is a quarter HP left on that Stunfisk, and how much energy did it have? So we throw a Rock Slide there. Two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we shield there. We've got 7 Mudshots worth of energy. 8. And then we switch out. Okay, so the fact that we had all that energy actually makes a big difference, I think, to this scenario. So let's go. G-Fisk with, just for argument's sake, let's say 45 HP. 50. Yeah, let's go 50. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How much HP did that Golbat have? About 2/3. And 0 energy. So, Golbat. That's, yeah, we'll go 90 there. It's probably not enough. Let's go 100. 95. Alright, let's go with that. And no energy. Battle, and we are at 1 shield to 2. Wow, that's close. So, in this sim, the Golbat's throwing Poison Fang. It does have the energy for a Shadow Ball, so that is, I'm happy to accept that as what would actually happen. And that's the other problem that I didn't even mention with this scenario, is that the whole shield baiting game becomes like an extra factor that I have to work with G-Fisk versus Golbat. If I don't shield and he has thrown Poison Fang, then that is just, beautiful for me. The Shadow Ball is enough to take me out from that range. Poison Fang obviously not, double resisted. It's doing 7 damage. The wing attacks are doing 3 damage each. So 2 and a bit wing attacks is doing the same damage as a Poison Fang. But I do manage to burn all of its shields. And I've got 6 HP left. So then, whatever is in the back can get a slight bit of energy. If it's Swampert in the back, then that doesn't matter. I can just Leaf Blade at that point. So what do I end up bringing in? Do I go with the more assured Glade? I do. And of course... Oh, don't shield it, you idiot! How much is Poison Fang doing to a Gallade? Poison Fang is doing 30% damage. I had more than 30% HP left. Do not shield it, you idiot. I was one confusion away from fainting it. I think I'm gonna get... And there is the Swampert. Unbelievable. Maybe two confusions. And this Hydro Cannon is enough to knock me out. And I don't think that Stunfisk is really going to do much in this situation. 2 shields down. So I blew it here. So much. As we've established, if I had brought out the G-Fisk to take out the Golbat's shields, even if the Golbat didn't double shield, I should be winning that. Let's test that out. I think we can work that out if I still would have won that if it didn't double shield. So let's say it doesn't shield the second Rock Slide. What if it didn't shield the first Rock Slide even? That's an interesting scenario. Let's just, for argument's sake, say that it doesn't shield the second Rock Slide. It's showing up confusion here. No, we want to... Whew, okay. Rock Slide. And it does shield the first one. Throws a Shadow Ball at me, which I shield. And then I throw a Rock Slide, which goes unshielded. Wow, the Rock Slide doesn't take it out from there. But 2 Mud Shots too. So then... I've got a lot of HP left. And he's still got 1 shield. So I continue battling. Swampert comes in from a fresh fight, from a fresh start. Swampert has 1 shield. I've got no shields. Hydro Cannon's going to do 70%. Earthquake's going to do 104. So that thing's going to save up to an Earthquake. I do have an Earthquake first, but I'm... I wouldn't have been confident enough to know that the Hydro Cannon wouldn't take me out, I don't think. Oh, you know what? I think I could have picked that I'd survive a Hydro Cannon from there. Well, either way, if I get to that Earthquake, I think everything's golden for me. Oh, of course, and we've still got a shield each, so... Alright, actually, what we'll do, let's just make it the default sim. With 1 shield apiece. Whoops. Oh, no, I don't have any shields. What am I talking about? So it would go up to an Earthquake. I'm going to try and get to that Rock Slide. Do I not get to the Earthquake there? I guess what I would have done, if I thought about it in the moment, is to build up to the Earthquake, and it's gonna force that last shield off of him, and then that just opens the door up for Gallade to come in and just crush its dreams. But alas, I did the dumb thing. Both games 1 and 3 were both very winnable, and I just made dumb mistakes in both of those. But that's why we do these analysis videos after the fact, and that's why we have these practice tournaments, so we can kind of iron out all those kinks, so we don't do it when it matters. Let me check up on chat here. Rubitron, sorry for missing your follow. Thank you for that. Hopefully you're still here after 11 minutes. Rocker says the exploit back in Sorcerer's Cup ruined mirror matches. What do I think of Shadow Tree? You mean Victory Bell? I think very, very meta. It's got some very hard counters. Golbat for one. Basically, any flyer is going to crush it. It's just like with Charmant Wigglytuff, the power of Razor Leaf is going to just wear down so many Pokemon. So the longer that matchup goes, the more likely it is for the Razor Leafer to win. Josh says fighters are too prominent, so it's a bit of a risk. Well, the Razor Leaf has beat Victory Bell. Yeah, sorry, the Razor Leaf has beat fighters. Team King versus Team CCO is playing at the moment. I'm watching multi-streams. What's that about? I don't know what that is. Josh says he's heading to bed. Have a good night. Have a good sleep. And good luck with the singing. Thank you. And Rocket is heading to bed too. So it looks like we are all done with this. Thank you guys for helping me to analyze this. Definitely a great help. I've got to do the standard stuff. Like, this video is going up on YouTube in a couple of weeks, so I've got to do the standard stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, remember, like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video around with anyone who you think will be interested in it. The more eyeballs we get on this thing, the more traction it gets, and the more kind of reason I have to keep doing them, because they take a lot of time. And I like doing it, but I'm a busy guy, so I would love to get that kind of tangible reward for the time and effort I'm putting in. But yeah, I also love, you know, the help that people do tell me they get from these videos. So I'll see you guys on the next video. And also, anyone watching the chat, I will see you guys soon. I'm going to sign off for now, and I'll be back in like 15-20 minutes with Twitch things if anyone plans to stick around for that.